Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator. In this video, we're going to talk about Alex Newman. A lot of you know him. He's a journalist. He considers himself to be a very respected journalist. A lot of people give him a lot of credit for things. We're just going to listen to Alex.
What got me was the fact that you confronted U.S. senators there, these sellout treasonous weasels. They're playing ball with the Russians, the communists. I mean, here, these senators are like, oh, Russia bad, more money for Ukraine. And what are they doing? Selling us out. They're selling us out with this scam of a Green Deal. Am I wrong? You saw the senators there.
I did, and I asked them questions. They had a big press conference. I asked them, I just brought up the facts, what any reasonable journalist would do. I talked about the latest.
Alex just brought up the facts of what any reasonable journalist would do. He just wants to get the facts out there. We're just on his X page here. He caught up with the former UN environment executive. If we come down a little bit, Alex, he posts a lot. He put this out today, November 25th, 2024. It says, the COP29 conference, America will be paying $300 billion per year towards climate change. As an American citizen, I don't want to see a single penny going to climate change. Even worse, China is considered a developing country and will receive money. He has a point there. And if we go down just a little bit to when he was actually at the conference, right here, this was what I saw before. Be prepared to pay big dollars. They just reached a climate agreement this weekend. They wanted 1.3 trillion, but they got that 300 million. But be prepared to pay big. That is the video I just put out. Pay up. I hope you're feeling rich because you just got ordered that you have to pay the poor people a lot of money. So a little bit further down here, Alex destroys the climate scam like nobody else. This is a hoax. And he's big on the climate, global warming's a hoax. That's his gig. He's sticking with it and exposing the dark totalitarian agenda behind COP29. Oh, okay. So he's talking big. And Greg Hunter replied in, Trump, a wrecking ball for climate change fraud. So he's gonna just expose the scam. Because Greg, he's a responsible journalist too. And so there's a lot of things. That's another COP29 post. He's been posting about COP29 for days and days and days. Now, I responded to a few of them, but why I responded was Alex Newman has known since February of 2021 that there is environmental solutions out there that the experts just won't allow. So all of these experts that he is criticizing, he refuses to expose them. And he refuses to tell you that there's actual environmental solutions, even though, he just does what any responsible journalist would do. Now, if he knows this information, shouldn't a responsible journalist put that out there? Well, none of them think they should. So this is from his PR and admin for Alex Newman, Jan. I talked to her twice before I got to talk to Alex, and she wanted to let me know that Alex is on the other side of me environmentally. I'm like, he doesn't even know my side. We're way more aligned than he thinks we are, but that was the perception going into an interview that he was going to hear. So, okay, I look forward to our chat. That's February 3rd from Alex. That's his email. And then I thanked him for being the first one to expose fraud, so that was the 4th. Thanks, Eileen! Exclamation point. Signed Alex. On the 11th, I'm like, hey, haven't seen that interview out there. Just wondering, because I'd waited, but then another interview finally got loaded up. And I was like, okay, they just skipped over me. On the 12th, Alex replied back, unfortunately, my editors were not as pleased as they could have been. Let's revisit in the not too distant future. Maybe we can pick a few key topics to focus on. So I replied back, and then on March 5th, Alex just wondering what that timeline for soon is. And Alex was like, thanks, not sure yet, but we'll see. I appreciate your efforts. Then that was that. So that's March 5th, 2021. The end of February to the beginning of March 5th, 2021. And Alex Newman, in all of the interviews, all of his posts about COP29, another one right there, COP29, all of his posts about COP29 and all the interviews that he does everywhere else, right here, pushing for the greening education, he refuses to mention that there's actual real solutions, lying by omission. And what does James O'Keefe have to say about lying by omission?
On this latest travesty, we just want them to tell the whole story. When it comes to serious reporting, omission of facts can be just as dangerous as outright lies. We here at Project Veritas believe in truth and telling the complete story.
Which, if you've been around here before, to O'Keefe means telling the complete story is if you pick up the story, because O'Keefe and Project Veritas and his O'Keefe Media Group also will not report to you that all environmental voices are preventing solutions fraud. So O'Keefe isn't exactly about the truth like he makes it out to be either, but that's what he says about lying by omission. And Alex propaganda into silent cities, and I put a comment out to this one here. Speaking of disinformation, Alex has refused for years to report truth he doesn't like. There's real, needed, sensible, can't be argued against environmental solutions, but all environmental voices have prevented them since November 93. I replied to a bunch of Alex comments out here. But here's Alex out here telling you he's a responsible, respected journalist, just posting endlessly about this conference. He goes to it every year and conveniently omitting the truth that he knows. So you decide, is Alex Newman really a responsible journalist? And Greg Hunter, whose show he was on, who's always putting down climate change, here's a bunch of emails I've sent to Greg. Right here, his email, info@USA Watchdog. He's replied to some of them. I can do a video about him someday, but it's not like he doesn't know the truth. And he does because he replied back to me on these 3 emails. So, we have a bunch. Okay, total BS. Greg. He gave me a religious test in one of these. I'm not even kidding. So, he just won't listen to anything responsible either, but he has Alex Newman on, and they play the role of responsible journalists. So just keep that in mind. Anytime you hear things about the climate, about the environment, well, all they talk about is climate change isn't real. They won't talk environment, and that is all the independent media. They are all equally as guilty as Alex Newman, Alex Jones, James O'Keefe, Tucker Carlson, and all the rest of them who will not give you good environmental news. So stay tuned, people.